Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm interviewing two of my professors from college, and we're gonna talk about things that have helped me as a senior business management student in the college classroom. Hope you enjoy. Hi, I'm Abby Chambers, and I'm a college student who has a physical disability called cerebral palsy. And today I have my advocate and my professor talking about what it's like having a disabled person in the college classroom. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name is Rob Achuff, and I have been an English teacher for over 20 years, and I also oversee the care department at the institution where I work.
And my name is Jeff Slutz. I teach in the business school. I teach corporate finance and investment classes. And I've been teaching for about a year and a half.
Have you ever had someone with a disability in your class before?
Well, I've taught over 20 years, and I have. It hasn't been frequent, but I did have a student a number of years ago who was paralyzed, I believe from the waist down. So he was able to move about in his wheelchair. So there were some accommodations that we'd have to make for him, and that was really about the extent of students with disabilities that I've encountered.
Yeah, and I had no problem. Another professor who wasn't able to make it today, and she said sound like she had a student with a similar situation, and it was hard when they were working for him to move around. What about you?
And being the long tenured 1.5 years, I've had just one so far. Yeah, I mean that's you. So I've learned a lot working with you.
What were your initial expectations of having me in class?
So I guess I'll start that one. I'm new enough that my experience, again, a year and a half, is I had no expectations because I've never experienced having someone that needed any help in the class other than just normal classroom help. And I didn't know anything about cerebral palsy. So I let you be my teacher, really. And so I just treated you the same as everyone. And we found a couple of accommodations that we made to make things work more smoothly for you. But it really wasn't any different for my experience as any other student. You were just as big a contributor to the class as any other student.
Okay. Yeah, my other professor said that, like, I approached her the first day of class, told her about my disability, what accommodations I need, and told her how other professors did things to accommodate me, and that really helped her out. Did I meet or fail any expectations you had?
Okay, well, I'll start with this
Yeah,
one.
go ahead.
And so just kind of piggybacking on what was just mentioned, even for myself, I really didn't have any expectations. And I think just with the nature of disability, it's really on I think a student by student basis. And I think the way that we move forward is that I really allowed you to take the lead, and for me to, just like Jeff just mentioned, kind of learn from you, like, this is what you've experienced in the past, and then I could kind of align that with what we could do at our institution.
Yeah.
And so that's the way that we move forward. And really, in the position that I'm in, where for Jeff it's just his class, where for us it's it's a class by class by class decision. And I think we've gotten into a place where, certain classes, the accommodations may not need to be as extensive, where
Right.
others that require the use of a scribe or something
Yeah.
like that. I think we've kind of got that dialed in now. But really, it was just allowing you to take the lead. And then let me just add to that. I mean, regarding just the way that you aligned with those expectations, I think you definitely exceeded all expectations. And I think that really speaks to your character. You're super driven and you're smart and you think ahead. Even before a semester begins, you're reaching out to your professors
Yes.
and introducing yourself and everything. And so I've had a front row seat to that. And so, yeah, certainly exceeded
Yeah.
expectations.
I mean, it really helped me to be able to take the lead because I was at another college before my current college, and it was literally I just had to check boxes of some options of accommodation they offered, and something that I really needed, like a scribe for homework, weren't available to me. So it really helpful for me to take the lead.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to expand on that a little bit too, because I think the way you approached it, you had a great attitude, and you came in and you told me early on, I have a certain amount of motor skills that I need help with, so we have created a scribe that helps you with the test. And for your viewers, we use the Apperson scorecards, which are the little number 2 pencils, color in the dots. And obviously, we made provision for someone to do that for you. But other than that, and on a quiz, instead of handwriting it, I let you type it into an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Beyond that, because you have a great attitude and you're driven, there were really no challenges
right.
as far as the classroom is concerned.
And my other professor that was for a marketing class, she had me, she would let me have my laptop for all quizzes and tests, and she just let me go sit in the back of the room for those tests and quizzes, and she felt that I was the trustworthy person and didn't worry about me doing anything I wasn't supposed to be doing on my laptop during a test. What advice do you have for other people with a disability?
I think, I'm going to go back to what I said about 2 seconds ago. I think the key is, you came in with a great attitude, and you wanted to succeed, and with the Lord's help, you were going to get it done, whatever it took, right? So one of the some of the things I learned from you is when you'd come to my office, and it looks like you need help, shuffling papers or
Yeah.
whatever, you taught me to ask you,
Yeah.
do you want me to help you with that? And you would either say, no, I have it, I'm good, and I would just give you time. Or the flip side is you'd say, yeah, please help me on this one, right? But I think the student can really make this go much better if they have that kind of good spirit, good attitude, and we can't imagine the challenges.
Yeah.
We can only try to guess what it's like, but we can certainly make it available to you. And so the student, I think, leads that by attitude, by having drive, by willingness and openness with the teacher.
Right. And sometimes, like, I've had the experience in the past with a professor where I was open with him, but he had problems understanding the way I talk. And he was too afraid to ask me to repeat myself, so I thought he knew what I needed, but then he wasn't giving me what I needed, and I had to go to Dr. Ray multiple times, and like frustration and be like, help me.
Yeah, and what I would say as well is that teachers, faculty members, sometimes I've taught over 20 years, teaching English, and over those years I've had just a handful of students. Just one that I can think of that had a significant disability. And so a lot of teachers and faculty members, they don't have that experience, and they don't know how to predict, or they don't know what the solutions are. And so I think it's really good for students to follow your model and your example of, being proactive, preemptive, reaching out, being open. And I remember this, you may not remember this, but when you first came to campus, I don't know if you remember, we walked down to the academic office that I oversee, right? And what you did, when I introduced you to the coaches in that space, you actually said, hey, it's fine for you to ask me to repeat myself. And I think that just put everybody, just gave them a lot of confidence, and it set them at ease. And so allowing, teachers and tutors and coaches to kind of know even what the ground rules are and what's appropriate, and so forth. So, you had that again, just really just dialed in. So it allowed things to work really well. But then I would also say, just as you mentioned, that if you're reaching out to a faculty member and that teacher isn't really understanding, providing the help that would be expected or typical, having that advocate, having that place that you can go to. And it wouldn't even have to be like in the model that we follow, where you would come to me for questions and for assistance. It could be a chairperson, a dean, somebody else in the administration, but for you to have that one contact person, I think it has really helped.
It did, yeah. Like when I don't know who to go to, I go directly to you. What advice do you have for other professors who may have someone like me in their class?
Well, since we've been so democratic
go
and
ahead,
sharing,
sure.
so it's my turn now. And I would basically just reiterate and really drill down on what we just mentioned. And I think taking the initiative, being proactive, and not being afraid to clarify what kind of help is needed. And so I think those two things, taking initiative, and again, not being afraid to speak up and to advocate for yourself and to find those advocates.
Professor
as well.
side, the teacher side, it's easy, I think, human nature, I think it's easy to prejudge, right? And assume, well, this person's not going to be able to do this or is not going to be able to do that. And I think you have to approach it totally open and say, I'm going to give them whatever accommodation I can for the needs that they have, but I'm going to assume they can.
Yeah.
And, you came to my office many times during office hours, and hey, I got a question on the homework, right? And I could tell by doing homework questions with you that you had the same aptitude that any other student would have. It's just physically coloring in a dot on an answer sheet, And I think the best thing that the teacher can do is give them every accommodation, help them, encourage them, but let them strive, let them figure it out and get it done, because they will if you just help, and you be available.
Yeah, and one thing I was really nervous before having you as my professor, because I heard from other students that you were a new professor, and I knew I had a friend in the class with me, so I talked to the person outside the class. I'm like, you may have to help me with the matter in communicating, and in the end, that friend really didn't help me at all. We had great communication. I want to say thank you for that.
You're certainly welcome. You're certainly welcome. You know, I think you and I talked about this. I have a daughter. It's about your age, and I look at you and think to myself, how would I want my daughter to be treated in the same situation, right? And
Yeah.
I think patience goes a long way, and I'm sure different teachers will have different challenges with understanding what to do.
What challenges you had to overcome having me in class?
Yeah, there weren't really any challenges, right? We Dr. Achuff arranged for you to have a scribe for tests, and so I would take the test to his office, and I would come back and get him to grade them later. And in the quizzes, I gave you an Excel spread. Let us use Excel because you can use a keyboard better than a pen and paper.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you know, you mentioned my class, and it's not me, it's the class, right?
Yeah.
So because when I started teaching this class and I started looking at the success rate, and it wasn't as high as I'd like it to be.
See, all the teachers say that, actually. That's
Right, probably. And so I went back and I looked at history of the previous professors that teach this, and it's just normal. The material's difficult, right?
Yeah.
And you outperformed a very large number of your peers, you know? And I think we just have to facilitate and get out of the way and let you do it.
Yeah.
as my final comment. Now, the first thing is you've never been my student, and
Right.
I do teach Shakespeare. And if you have 3 credits available, you know, in your schedule, you can. I would love to have you. I would love to have you as a student in Shakespeare. But in answer to your question specifically, I mean, it's not really a challenge. I mean, it's an opportunity to learn.
Right.
And in working with you, I've learned a ton in how to better assist you and to give you what you need. So no, I see it as a learning opportunity, and it's been a fun journey.
Yeah. And one thing I like to say is I like to be treated that any other person in the class, even though I may need extra help. So when someone looks at my disability and see me as a person created in the image of God, that means so much to me and very helpful when professors are kind toward me. So thank you for watching this interview. I hope you learned a lot through this interview. I wanna give a big thank you to Dr. Achuff and Mr. Slutz for coming and helping me out with the video. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it very informative. Thanks for watching.